Open days of various descriptions of the university calendar are occasions on which it has become perfectly ordinary to hear declarations and performances of extraordinary passion. We hear comparatively less about curiosity, which is much harder to perform, as it involves, for humans at least, a weakly intentional state. That is, one that would, at the very least, require one to be able to state what it is that one is curious about. So, I am here stating my curiosity in curiosity. Curiosity has to be directed toward a concept, inostensible as it may be, for an object. But a propositional statement of what satisfies the conditions of curiosity cannot by itself account for the satisfaction of curiosity. Not only can the satisfaction of curiosity not be satisfactorily explained, every aspect of curiosity is pervaded by dissatisfaction, on account of which those intellectuals who have, against considerable odds, retained an inkling of curiosity have earned themselves the epithet of the necessarily discontented set. So curiosity is commonly associated with intensity, transience, impulsiveness, precariousness, because easily distracted and destroyed, and disappointment upon even temporary satisfaction. Curiosity is cited as a major impetus for child and cognitive development, for creativity in literature and art, and for the pursuit of knowledge generally, independently of the lure of any extrinsic benefit or reward, this reward included utility, interest, or profit. It poses as an anomaly in rational choice analyses of action and behavior. Being of immense practical importance, it yet remains theoretically puzzling and immeasurable. Even as it is recognized, at least in philosophical modernity, as fundamental to the human condition, curiosity is curiously ill understood at best, and counteracted by policies and interventions militating against it at worst, even and especially within academic environments. Curiosity is anomic. In that sense, it has been denounced by spokespersons of various doctrinally bound causes throughout the ages as vain, capricious, inconstant, unsustainable, useless, dysfunctional, insatiably desirous, sensation-seeking, dangerous, and pathological. The moral or cautionary or governmental lesson announced with the proverb, "Curiosity killed the cat," figures in this context. The proverbial statement is cited with increasing frequency from the end of the 19th and beginning of the 20th century onwards, accompanied by raised eyebrows and a wagging index finger with sanctions not far off. At the same time, the tale of curiosity that killed the cat is not unmotivated. It negatively acknowledges the role of curiosity in the formation of knowledge. It only thinly plasters over the integral relation posited by Freud in his path-breaking 3 essays on the theory of sexuality, published in 1905, between the drive for knowledge and the sexual researches of young children, to which we will return at the end of this presentation. Another tale associated with the modern proverb, "Curiosity killed the cat," is one of lesser renown. A newspaper report entitled "Curiosity Killed the Cat: 4 departments of New York City government summoned to rescue feline" was published on page 6 of the Washington Post on 4th of March, 1916, which in turn got it from the New York World, subsequently accessible through Wikipedia, which is from where I'm citing in a demonstration of how cheap things get in academia, even as tuition fees are increasing. And it goes like this. Curiosity, as you may recall, On the 5th floor of the apartment house at 203 West 130th Street lives Miss Mabel Godfrey with a cat, Jackie. The cat seldom left the apartment. He was a hearth cat, in other words, one stuck at the fireplace, not a fence cat, and did not dearly love to sing. In other respects, he was normal and hence curious. Last Tuesday afternoon, when Miss Godfrey was out, Jackie skipped into the great fireplace in the rear room. He had done this many times before, but he had not climbed up the flue to the chimney. This he did Tuesday. Jackie there remained, perched on the top of the screen, separating the apartment flue from the main chimney, crying for assistance. Miss Godfrey, returning, tried to induce her pet to come down. If you are experienced in felinity, you know that Jackie did not come down. On Wednesday, the cat, curiosity unsatisfied, tried to climb higher and fell to the first floor. His cries could still be heard by Miss Godfrey, who, to effect Jackie's rescue, communicated with the following departments: the police department, fire department, health department, building department, Washington Heights Court. Among them, they lowered a rope to Jackie, but it availed neither the cat nor then anything. Thursday morning, just before noon, a plumber opened the rear wall back of the chimney. Jackie was taken out. His fall had injured his back. 10 minutes later, Jackie died. This story is instructive. It is a high moral tale highlighting the proverbial wisdom. Curiosity kills, and a hearth cat had better be satisfied with its station in life as a hearth cat and not climb higher. Climbing higher is the antecedent to the inevitable consequent of falling deeply, originally, tragically, now farcically, as evinced in the ironic tone of the story. But the proverbial curiosity of the cat does not only kill, it is immensely wasteful of resources dispensed, to no avail, as it turns out, but a constantly watchful, constantly caring state, whose emissaries in downward hierarchy, numerically itemized, themselves risk life and limb in the process, having to pay the price vicariously for the cat's disastrously exquisite, irresponsibly selfish, vainglorious forays. So well rehearsed is this moral fable, but we find strong residences of it even in the announcement and subsequent assessment of recent research policy decisions of the National Research Foundation. After revisiting its focus area of funding for themes aligned with identified national development needs, the NRF launched its Blue Skies Research Funding Instrument in 2008. The respective policy document describes Blue Skies research as multidimensional, self-initiated, curiosity-driven inquiry that necessitates high investment risks. Let me repeat the operative phrase here. Self-initiated, curiosity-driven inquiry necessitates high investment risks. As if by self-fulfilling prophecy, the challenges, which I read as failures, listed in a retrospective assessment include, and this is telling, difficulties with the definition of novelty within the ambit of different knowledge fields, and with the predominant Blue Skies research and confusion and anxiety resulting in a misconstrued understanding of the intended purpose and nature of the Blue Skies Research Funding Instrument. Does this make of Jackie leaving the herd and, with curiosity unsatisfied, climbing into the chimney and unrepentingly meeting his demise, a paradigm case of the curiosity-driven researcher avant le lettre? You can see my French is disastrous. My answer to this question is a decisive and emphatic no. But I would want to state this no not by way of a simple negation. The exploratory curiosity that this is the proverbial curiosity of the cat can be called that only metaphorically. through rendering anthropomorphic the exploratory sorties of animals. True enough, the urge to go exploring is aroused by perceptual stimuli, impelling the animal to orient itself or to seek environmental diversity and novelty, as example, a rat's exploration of a maze, or to go in search for a missing piece of information to complete a puzzle, as observed in monkeys and apes and the monkey puzzles that students get in test and exam papers. So while such perceptual curiosity is common to animals and humans, conceptual curiosity transcends and transforms the instinctual response to stimulation, figuring instead as intentional mental state and as drive for knowledge, which is peculiar to humans. In humans, curiosity, even though stimulus-bound, is to a large measure internally motivated, typically in situations of cognitive disequilibrium, drawing on Piaget, or incongruity when new apperceptions unsettle existing cognitive structures and content, shifting the focus from what is known to what is unknown. That is why simply encouraging students to ask questions will not go very far towards stimulating curiosity. Still less, could we find anything curiosity inspiring in this university's stated mission of inquiry-led learning, from which are supposed to result, as if saying so makes it so, UP graduates who possess intellectual curiosity and an inquiry-led approach to knowledge. So in this formulation, curiosity and inquiry are mandated in the absence of any questions directed at any set of conceptual objects. The policy setting down inquiry-based learning on command completes the absurdity. Curiosity requires a pre-existing knowledge base, dynamically conceived. Curiosity arises in and from gaps, problems, inconsistencies, paradoxes, contradictions, incommensurabilities in knowledge, which would have to be made palpable in the spirit of Socrates to be able to get to the as yet unknown. Or in the case of Freud's account of the genius of Leonardo, and I quote, "What interested Leonardo in a picture was above all a problem, and behind the first one he saw countless other problems arising, just as he used to in his endless and inexhaustible investigation of nature." So more generally, it has been remarked that people are likely to become progressively more curious about the topics that they know most about, that is to say, about the topics that they knowingly know at least about. Far more disconcerting than the proverbial taste of curiosity killing the cat is the curiosity killing capacity of the proverbial fable itself, wielded either as moral or cautionary injunction, or in its positive form, as policy. Curiosity cannot, on pain of its own death, be proscribed or ordained. What we can do is to look at some of its conditions without turning conditions into causes. In art, literature, philosophy and science, curiosity is bound up with the question as to how newness comes into the world, that is, with creativity and discovery. Fascinated by the transformations of infantile sexual researches, affects and passions into the kind of curiosity that is the motor of research, and by Leonardo's accomplishments equally distributed between artistic, scientific and technological innovation, Sigmund Freud is moved to describe some of the conditions and forces at work. And this is a long citation from Freud, bear with us. And I quote, His affects were controlled and subjected to the instinct for research. He did not love and hate, but asked himself about the origin and significance of what he was to love or hate. Thus he was bound at first to appear indifferent to good and evil, beauty and ugliness. During his work of investigation, love and hate threw off their positive or negative sides and were both alike transformed into intellectual interest. In reality, Leonardo was not devoid of passion. He did not lack the divine spark which is directly or indirectly the driving force behind all human activity. He had merely converted his passion into a thirst for knowledge. He then applied himself to investigation with a persistence, constancy, and penetration which is derived from passion, and at the climax of intellectual labor, when knowledge had been won, he allowed the long restrained effect to break loose and to flow away freely, as a stream of water drawn from a river is allowed to flow away when its work is done. When at the climax of a discovery, he could survey a large portion of the whole nexus, he was overcome by emotion, and in ecstatic language praised the splendor of the part of creation that he had studied. End of quote. We hope that this will rouse curiosity about the transformative capacity of curiosity rather than being stifled by the forces mobilized to stifle it. Thank you.